Hello and welcome to my update about everything on the agenda for the upcoming June council meeting that I think is of interest for our community. And keep in mind that our public gallery will be held at council chambers, or you can zoom in online and give any feedback to councillors this Monday, the 17th of June. So here's a quick rundown of the items that I think are of interest. So there is a notice of motion to develop a policy about councillors meeting with developers. I, in principle, think this is a good idea. For the record, in my 7 years on council, I've never had a direct meeting with a developer other than meetings that have been organised via council officially, where all councillors have been present with executive staff in a formal council workshop. But nevertheless, I think having a policy and procedure around that to clarify that for our community is important. So I'd like to put that there and make that clear. The big one, I think, in this meeting is the adoption of our budget for the 24-25 financial year. Consultation was held with the community over a 6-week period. There were 5 submissions providing feedback. Essentially no material changes other than a clarification with the Sport and Recreation Centre that council is allocating an additional $6 million towards that project. So at the moment that project has a budget of $81 million. And it's proposed that for that $6 million increase, that $2.5 million will come from the interest that is currently being earned in bank, as a lot of that cash sits in the bank whilst the project is built, and another $3.5 million will come from our capital works reserve. So that was a reserve that council holds. It has quite a bit of money in there. It's for projects in the future. It hasn't been allocated to any projects yet, and we've held that reserve because there's a big capital works program underway at the moment. So that reserve has been sitting there for purposes like this, that should there be a project increase required, there's funds sitting there and we don't have to go and cut other projects or services. So I think that is a result of some prudent economic management that we can deal with that and build a much needed facility for our community. Now, we've got a few other things. There's some proposed changes to the Code of Meeting Practice, which is just looks at how the public gallery will function in conjunction with the council meeting. And keep in mind, it's only temporary that council is holding the public gallery on a separate night to the council meeting. The way the resolution of council was that for the new council from September onward, it would go back to the format where the public gallery is at the same time of the council meeting. So it's only a temporary change that the two were split. And then we've got proposed amendments to be adopted to then go to consultation with our staff interaction policy between councillors and staff. And I think this is a really important document that will really help to set up the new council to understand what is the relationship between councillors and our staff. And I hope to provide some good guidance for that new council as to how to interact with each other in a positive and constructive manner. And I think another one that is of interest for the community is in regards to the Jean Mitchell Lucretia baths. There's a report update basically just saying, look, at the moment, council is keeping the state government up to date about what its plans are for the site. At the moment, it's proposed that once council's current capital works program over the next 2 financial years is completed, that then council will look at financing this project to renovate those baths. So there's no timeline on that yet, but essentially what it is suggesting is that in the next 2 years, they'll basically just make the site safe, and it'll be a future project list for council to consider. So that's a quick highlight of all the main items that I see. I always like to be transparent. There are 2 closed items on the agenda. One, and that means that basically the public will not be present during those items when they are being discussed. And basically for that to happen, there's got to be a deemed best interest that it is actually held in closed session. And I think you'll understand one is in regards to some bad debts that need to be written off by council. The staff and the general manager cannot write off any bad debt over $10,000, and that requires the approval of councillors. But obviously there's some sensitivity and privacy matters around writing off bad debt, so that's what will be done in closed session. And another one is in regards to Merrill Minute about a senior staff matter, which when council resolves that, that will be the minutes of that will be made public. So that is a summary of the agenda. If you have any questions or like to join my community Zoom on Wednesday, please click on the link and send me any questions. And I hope you found this video summary helpful. Thank you.